Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco, powered by the Difference Media LLC, and hosted by Brian Poduska with Real Property Management Focus, and also sponsored by Jax Kreider with PBJ Mortgage,
Lauren Gill with My Live, Love, Travel,
Debbie Watson with Abracadootle, Bethany Rowan with the B. Rowan Realty Group, Tracy Churchman with Best Buddies,
Eric Buchanan with Goosehead Insurance, Meena Singh, college counselor and prep coach, Paul Fisher with Certainty Home Lending, and by Ethan Donovan with the Donovan Creative Agency.
The Community Difference Frisco was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Frisco starts now.
Well, good afternoon and happy holidays, Frisco. Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. We're a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I'm your host, Brian Poduska. I own Real Property Management Focus right here in Frisco, Texas, and the host of this show. If you have not seen us before, we are on episode number 52. We are a local podcast, and we put the spotlight on typically 5 different types of key members of Frisco. That would be a business owner and entrepreneur, a community leader, think of a politician or a board member, something like that, Frisco ISD leadership, nonprofit leadership, and sports leadership. We are Sports City USA, after all, here in Frisco. We have several sports-related sponsors here on the show. So that is one of the 5 types of folks that we highlight on the show. We have a rotating business topic of the month, so we will dive into that. The rotating business topic of December, transforming the sales cycle, leveraging social platforms to establish the know, like, and trust component of building rapport. So we will dive into that with our guests and our co-host a little bit later on in the show. As I mentioned, co-hosts, we have rotating co-hosts this week. Miss Lauren Gill, the amazing Miss Lauren Gill, is joining me. Let's bring her on, Lennon, and say hello.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Hey, Lauren. Good to see you.
You too. Happy Thursday.
Awesome. Happy Thursday to you. We're winding down the year. It's crazy how fast it's flown by. Like I said, episode number 52. Hard to believe we've done this for an entire year on a weekly basis. So that's awesome. Good to have you back on. Why don't you remind the audience who you are and what you do real quick, and then I'd like you to introduce your guest.
Awesome. So I'm Lauren Gill with My Live, Love, Travel. So as a travel advisor, I help clients design stress-free, personalized experiences, saving them hours of planning time and often dollars as well. I offer white glove service to ensure that my clients create lifelong memories through travel experiences. And I am honored to introduce Amy Wagner to you. She is the Director of Marketing and Development. Amy oversees the Taylor Hooton Foundation's fundraising initiatives, events, awareness, marketing, and the All Me League. She also serves as a liaison with corporate and individual sponsors and donors. She brings both corporate and nonprofit background to THF, Taylor Hooton Foundation. During her almost 20-year career in the insurance industry, she held leadership roles in marketing and sales on both the carrier and independent agency sides of the insurance business. Amy's nonprofit experience includes serving as the president of Chamberlain Performing Arts, the signature gala chair for Chamberlain Performing Arts, the American Cancer Society Silver Dollar Ball chair, a board member of Frisco Women's League, a Denton County Friends of the Family auxiliary member, and was named one of the top women in Collin County. Amy and her husband, Dave, live in Frisco, and they have 2 grown children, Molly and Luke. Amy, welcome.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you so much for having me. And Brian, delighted to be here.
Well, we're thrilled that you joined us today. Happy to have you on. Being a longtime Frisco resident, what is your favorite part of Frisco?
Oh, there's so many answers that I could give. I guess I'll give a couple of my top reasons, if that's okay. Firstly, it's been a great place to raise our family. As Lauren mentioned, we have 2 grown children. We have been here for about 24 years, and it has just been a fantastic place for them to thrive and flourish. And a lot of that is because of the schools. When we first came to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we specifically chose Frisco for the schools, and both of our kids had a great experience in Frisco ISD, and also just the safety. And I think what makes Frisco the most special is the people, especially people like Lauren, my neighbor and friend, and just other people that we have met since living here, just the overall community feel.
Absolutely.
Love that. Love that. Those are all great answers and all very, very true. You are probably in the top 1% to 2%, I would think, with 24 years being here in Frisco, given your duration here. So awesome to have you on the show, and great to have a little bit of Frisco history with us. Not to make you feel old or anything, but you, like I said, top 1% or 2% of duration. All right. Well, we'll dive a little bit more into Amy's background and what she's doing today here a little bit later in the show. Lyndon, do me a favor and bring on our other guest, Mr. Jason Young. This is a very timely appearance from Jason. He is a local hospitality entrepreneur, creator of Verona Villa, co-founder of Allura Hospitality Group. That's why I say it's very timely, because an announcement came out this week about Allura. So we will dive into that with him. And good old-fashioned entertainment is what he told me. He's also a great dude, very, very, very active in the community. So very happy to have Mr. Jason Young on the show today. What's up, buddy?
What is up, Brian? Great to be with you. Hey, Lauren. Hey, Amy. Good to see you.
Welcome.
Great to see you today, man. It's kind of ironic. Here we are at the end of the year. You were on our kickoff show, I believe. With
Was I?
Donnie Churchman.
And
I
it
think
survived that? You guys made it past me before?
Yeah, it's miracles. You know, it's a year of miracles
to exist. Yeah.
Here we are.
I thought for sure I would be the kiss of death, but it is great to be first, and it's great to be here right before Christmas and all the holidays and New Year's and everything. So congratulations on a great year for y'all.
Well, thank you. And same back to you. Super excited to learn more about the Allura Hospitality Group here coming up. So we'll dive into that a little bit later in the show. But first and foremost, being Mr. Frisco, I'll call it. He's super active in the community, all around good dude. What is your favorite part about Frisco?
My favorite part about Frisco. That's a good question, but I'm not those other things. That is embarrassing to me. My favorite part of Frisco, I'm going to use the word diversity, and I mean it in every possible application. I love that, I grew up as a kid that loved sports. I played basketball my whole life, and football and all that stuff. And I went to college to play basketball, but I also had a love for arts. I love all kinds of arts, visual, culinary. I love service. I love people that have the attitude of treating others they want to be treated. And I love to travel. And so I love the fact that this city, since I moved here in 2004, has become truly international. And I don't have to go anywhere to experience different cultures and different food and, everything, all the beauty that comes with that. And then obviously you have folks that have lived here, from way back when this was a small town with just a few brothels on the side of the road, to now we have, every major sporting team and a performing arts center coming, and, just all these crazy things that are great that are happening. And so to me, obviously you have the diversity of people, but also just the diversity of the culture and the experience that we can go. Great place to raise an athlete, great place to raise an artist, great place to, all of the above, great education, as well as it's a great place to be retired and to be able to see that legacy from our kids all the way up to our grandparents and great grandparents. I love that about Frisco. You don't have to go far to have truly world-class opportunities. So,
love it. We are the land of opportunity here in Frisco.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk to the city about a new moniker, right?
The land of, they have enough monikers. What,
Yeah, they
Sports
do.
City USA? That one's honestly, that one's not my favorite. I get it, but
yeah,
I think we could do better.
like I said, awesome to have you on the show. Super
Thanks,
excited to dive into your new business venture here in a little bit. What we're going to do right now, we're going to give our sponsors a little bit of love. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about what's going on in Frisco right after that. So take us away, Lyndon.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska with Real Property Management Focus, Bethany Ralwin with the Beer Ralwin Realty Group, Tracy Churchman with Best Buddies, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers, Eric Buchanan with Goosehead Insurance, Meena Singh, College Counselor and Prep Coach, Lauren Gill with My Live, Love, Travel, Paul Fisher with Certainty Home Lending, and by Ethan Donovan with the Donovan Creative Agency. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Frisco?
All right, welcome back. As you heard in that little sounder, this is What's Up Frisco. So what's going on in Frisco? Not necessarily the things that you're going to find when you type What's Up Frisco in Google, but we're talking about job openings. We're talking about fundraising events. We're talking about networking events. We're talking about community events. So that's what we're going to talk about. We like to go ladies first on this show. So Lauren, I'm going to hand it over to you. Tell us what's up Frisco.
All right. So I've got a few things to share with our community today. The first is the first couple have to do with give back opportunities. So while we want to be giving to our community all year long, this time of year, I think it's top of mind. So one opportunity is on December 23rd with Feed the City Frisco. It's going to take place at Sidecar Social, which is in the Star. You register via Eventbrite. It's a free event, but the goal is to make 25 to 30 sandwiches per person to serve those in need. And as you can see on the screen here, those are the items that you would need to bring that are going to create little like meal bags for folks. The second one is writing letters to the troops during the holiday season. You'd be surprised, but a lot of our men and women serving in the military don't receive a lot of mail. And so a Happy New Year note or something along those lines could really lift their spirits. And one of the ways you can do that is with the Wounded Warrior Project. So if you were to Google, write a letter to a soldier, Wounded Warrior Project, you would be able to find the information and the address in which to do so. And then the last thing on a fun note is about the Field West development, which is going to be in between, kind of nestled in between the PGA and the Universal Kids Resort. So recently announced that over 20 eateries and stores are planned for this project. And a few to highlight are Kendra Scott, William Sonoma, and Johnny O when it comes to retailers, and then 60 Vines, Mastro's, and the Greenpoint Seafood and Oyster Bar for restaurants. And as somebody who enjoys oysters, I'm super excited for that last one.
Well, indeed, there will be no shortage of things to do up there as that develops over the next, I think it's has like a 10-year time frame, something like that. But a lot of exciting things coming on up there. Awesome. Well, thank you, Lauren. Let's bring on Officer Lavelle as well, our monthly appearance by the Frisco PD. Officer Lavelle, good to see you again. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, thank you. I appreciate getting invited back.
Absolutely. Good to see you again. Happy holidays to you. What challenges do the holidays bring to the Frisco PD, and what headlines would you like to share this month?
Yeah, biggest thing is, it's a vacation time. Everybody going home for the holidays. So, we want to make sure our houses are taken care of, our property's secure when we're not there. So we want to try and make sure it looks like it's lived in. If you can put your lights on a timer, make sure your mail's getting held by the post office if at all possible. If you're one of those people that still gets a physical newspaper or subscription of some kind dropped off to you, make sure that's not just piling up on the doorstep. And then the other thing is with the new year comes parties. And unfortunately, I got to be the bearer of bad news. You can't have fireworks in the city of Frisco. So party as much as you want, just got to leave those out of it.
All right. That's a fair trade-off. We can probably, comply to that. I like it. Awesome. Well, great to see you again. Thanks for coming on. And you, of course, are welcome to stay for the entire show if you're able to. Hopefully, there's no emergencies that pull you away. But we really appreciate you guys coming on the show and just keeping us informed. We really appreciate what you guys do for the city. So that's first and foremost. We thank you for that, and we're happy that we get this opportunity for you to share out to the community as well.
Hey, Brian, can I ask Officer Lavelle a question real fast?
Oh boy, I don't know. That's going to be loaded. Go ahead, Jason.
Okay, be honest. Are you in the detention interview room right now?
I am not. I'm actually in the services conference room.
Why would you know that?
Well, I have a funny story because it looks like the wall. I was meeting one of Officer Lavelle's coworkers, my good friend, Officer Willis, Gene Willis, and I was meeting him. He said, "Come to the station. Let's have coffee." I said, "Okay." And so Ken gave me a tour. It was the first time I had been there. And he put me in the interrogation room, I guess. I don't know what you call it. It looks like that's where you are. And there was a camera set up in there too. And I was like, I just started sweating. I mean, I'm just like, there's another reason I'm here that I don't know about. So I was laughing to myself because I swear it looks like where you are. And no, I wasn't in trouble, Brian.
Right. Well, that's where my head down to. I'm glad you were there by choice.
I had to ask.
Not by force. Awesome. Well, let's kick it over to Amy. I know you have something you want to share about an old but a new spin on the old. So go for it.
Yes, I was really excited to see the relaunch of Lifestyle Frisco. It was started back in 2013 with Wendy and Scott Ellis, and now it's under new ownership and it's being relaunched with Carrie and Daniel Himmel. So super excited about that. It's a digital platform that kind of tells you a little bit about the who, what, where, when in Frisco. It's local news, events, features, and they have a great weekly newsletter called Frisco FYI that you can sign up for at lifestylefrisco.com. So super excited to see everything that is going to be in store in Frisco in 2025. I know lots of exciting things. I know we're going to hear more from Jason on some things too.
Yeah, love it. Well, with that, great segue there. Jason, let's kick it over to you. I want you to at least give the headlines on the new venture that you have going with Donnie and several others in the community. And we'll dive a little bit deeper into it, but I want to make sure that you have some time to share that in this segment. So go for it.
Thanks. First of all, Lifestyle Frisco, we were good friends with the Ellises, and actually Donnie Churchman and we hosted the memorial service for Scott. And so it was so sad to us. He was such a great man and so great for the community and to support Wendy. We did that. And I'm just really grateful that Carrie and Daniel are going to continue their legacy, that they started with Lifestyle Frisco. So Wendy, if you're watching this, I love you and we all love you. And we're super excited for what we're about to talk about, to hopefully be a part of what they have going over there. So yes, Laura Hospitality Group. So my whole life was hospitality. I started scooping ice cream when I'm 15 at Baskin Robbins and worked in restaurants and all of that stuff, and Nordstrom for 16 years. And then I had Verona Villa. And then my business partner and close friend, Donnie Churchman, a lot of people know NAC Development, and he is the preeminent downtown developer. We have projects in Frisco, obviously, Louisville, soon to be breaking ground on 4 city blocks in Mansfield. He's working on Saxe. And so it's been a lot of fun to learn from him and watch that grow. And as we've done it, we've gotten very immersed in what it means to be a downtown merchant and what it takes and what the challenges are or what the needs are. And then we've faced some of them specifically in the rail district in downtown Frisco. The city's doing awesome improvements and infrastructure and everything, but that doesn't come without challenge. And certainly you have to be creative from a business side of how do you deal with what's going to be great, but in the short term, the roads are torn up a little bit. So, through our relationships there, we saw an opportunity to help some existing places, but then also to create new ones. So the first one started with Board and Bread. It's a charcuterie concept, and Katie Henry is the star of Board and Bread, and she needed some assistance, and so we came in and acquired that, and we thought, okay, we're going to help her vision and her dream come true of what she had set out to do. That's at the Tower at the Rail. But then we kind of had a bigger idea that, well, if we're helping her, we might be able to help more people and create more. So we needed somebody that could help us do that. So Donnie and I knew somebody for a couple years, Chef Amy DiBiase. And it took us a while, but we convinced her to relocate from Sanderling Resort in North Carolina. And she is our COO, culinary director, which has led us to creating concepts called The Parlor, which will be a cocktail parlor with a full menu. We have the concept salon suites above us, and the people that own Atrium Salon Suites have that. It'll have great cocktails, very female focused. I'll use the word female focused environment. There's no TVs with sports and stuff like that. It's just a place for people to gather, have a great drink, charcuterie, but also salads and sandwiches and stuff. Next door, we're opening a concept called Old Town Pie Company, which will be more savory and also dessert pie. So anything in a pie crust is an Old Town Pie Company, and that will have also a great bar. That will have more sports on TV, that kind of a feel. We had the opportunity to partner up with Three Empires Brewing Company. So David and Mandy Weibel, we were able to make a deal to become partners with them, to help them get through some of these challenges of the downtown stuff, but also come out of it thriving. And our plan is to take that brewery to, like I said, Louisville, Mansfield, and so later in the fall we'll be launching another location of Three Empire out there, and then that also led to my friend Ernest B. And so we ended up having the opportunity. Ernest has been a friend of mine for 10 plus years. The whole community loves Ernest, and so we're going to come in and help him meet his full dream potential there with his catering side of things. And we have something called Frisco Premier Catering that's sort of a part of all of this. So we'll have a full service catering company, mobile bartending, don't drink and drive. That's not what I mean by that. I mean the bar moves, but you don't move with the bar. And we'll also have the Board and Bread sort of charcuterie event. We'll go through Frisco Premier Catering as well as Ernest B's catering truck. So there's just a full gamut of different concepts, and so we have different investors in the concepts, the operators. I mean, it doesn't get better than people like Ernest and Cicely Morgan, and I should say Pastor Ernest, and David and Mandy Weibel, Katie Henry, and of course our Chef Amy. Chef Amy is going to be someone this community is going to really grow to love. What Donnie and I are in the background on this, and these folks are going to be out in the front, leading the charge. We have some other things that are actually super exciting to go along with that we can't talk about yet. But in the first of the year, I think people are going to be excited for some other just really big, cool things that are coming.
Well, that is exciting news, and that is a lot, but that's awesome. And I love how you're incorporating several really great people here in the community, helping them further their dreams, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to Donnie the other day, or several weeks ago. He's like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting myself into the restaurant business, hospitality business. But after hearing all that, you've got a great team in place, and you've got the experts in place, and that's the key, right?
Yeah. Well, and when we were going to announce it to the community, what we're doing, it is a lot, and it's hard to explain what's in your head. There's the flow chart of it, how it all connects, because we also have NAC Theater, which we do a lot of community events, and then we have Rona Villa, we have the event venues. We have another venue in Louisville that is under construction right now as well, and then one going in Mansfield. So, I mean, there is a lot, and it can be overwhelming to even listen to, let alone, I've made my days a lot more full and complicated. But But that being said, it all comes from the same spirit. Donnie and my friendship from day one when we met about 4 years ago was faith and family. That's where we started. Then community. And so the things we do at NAC Theater, like tonight we have David Gashin is doing a Christmas show.
You're stealing my thunder.
Sorry, I gave you a little. And then we have, Three Empires is their trivia night on Thursdays. So we're trying to create opportunities for people to get together and really make the downtown thrive, not just for our stuff, but for everybody. And we really want people to see downtown as just another neighborhood in the community. I used the word diversity earlier, and sometimes diversity is hard. It's a lot easier when everybody, my daughter goes to McKinney Christian Academy. It's pretty easy to be at school because it's like everybody's sort of, for the most part, coming from the same place, right? But when you add diversity to it, it's a more of a challenge, and sometimes that creates division because of uncertainty or people don't want to be vulnerable or whatever. And so it's like you have the Star, you have Firefly Park, you have the Mix, you have downtown, and then there's like a competition between it. Well, but we really truly see downtown as just another neighborhood of opportunity for all of them. There's a place for all of those things, right? Whether you're at PGA and so we want to embrace the whole city downtown. In the past, sometimes people think like they're proud of where they're at. They're proud of their corner. And so we want to sort of take the walls down and have people be feeling comfortable to freely go back and forth and experience all of it, right? Because there's so many different cool things to be able to do. And so for us, our hospitality group, it's our effort to bring that all together. How do we connect? And it's not a restaurant group and right now it's all restaurants, but you may see barbershops, you may see flower shops, you may see some other businesses that fall under our umbrella that then also can be moved to other cool downtown. So it creates expansion opportunities for those other folks,
Yeah, for sure. Well, and looking forward to all the good stuff that's coming to downtown Frisco. So awesome. Well, thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. What I want to do right now is let's shift gears. I'm going to run through a few slides here for the What's Up segment. Lennon, if you don't mind, go ahead in the order that I had them queued up. All right, first one. We talked about this last week. The Walnuts. I'm going to mispronounce this again. Wassail Walk, I think it's called. The Frisco Heritage Village is, it's kicking off from there. And wassail, we learned last week, is a beverage best enjoyed warm and in cold weather. And you can add whatever you want to it as long as you're walking. Officer Lavelle will attest to that, the walking part. So that's kicking off tonight from the Heritage Museum. All right, next up. All right, so FBSA, their registration ends January 6th. So if you have a kiddo that wants to play baseball or softball, get them in before first week of January is when that ends. Eric Buchanan is one of our co-hosts and the head of that organization, so he wanted to make sure that we shared that. Next up. All right, so the Frisco ISD Incubator, this is a great program. We mentioned it before. This is basically Shark Tank for high school students. If you are a business owner or entrepreneur and have time to volunteer for this program, reach out to Ashley Sign there. Her contact information is there. They need volunteers, and there's multiple different roles that you can fill. Please reach out to Ashley on that if you are able. All right, next up. All right, so this one, we all know the FCS Championship is right here in Frisco. So come on down. That is January 6th, I believe, as well. And I didn't check the bracket, but I believe the NDSU Bison are still alive, and they are ready to take over Frisco, I'm sure, if they advance to it. So that is always a fun weekend. Check that out first week of January. All right, next up. Here we go, Jason. This is the NAC Theater. So we've got a few different events that we wanted to highlight from the NAC. So this is tonight, actually. So a Christmas show that's going on at the NAC Theater tonight, 7 p.m. And then there's another one tomorrow if you want to go to the next one, Lennon. There you go. So this is December 20th. Again, a musical performance at the Knack Theater. Nice, cozy location. Seats about 200, 250, depending on the show, right here in downtown Frisco. And then we've got a few shows coming up. This is Mr. Justin Till, I believe his name is. Yes, sir. So country music artist. Is he a Nashville guy, Jason?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we've got a couple Nashville. We've got a Nashville pipeline coming straight to the Knack Theater. The next one is also a Nashville artist. I believe she's next. Yes. Miss Alyssa Flaherty. I've checked her out on Instagram. Just awesome, beautiful music, up and coming star. So catch her before she blows up and sells out big, huge venues. Catch her in a nice, cozy venue like Knack Theater. That's February 7th. So come on out for that, 8 p.m. And then we got Sing It Like Swifty. So this has been rescheduled out to February 15th. Come on out to that. It's a karaoke competition. Come one, come all ages, I believe, are welcome. So check that out, February 15th. And then last but not least, Frisco's Got Talent. So season 4. Jason, are you on the panel this year for
They make me be the host. I
you're the
tried
host.
to retire from it, but they no. So the judges are Crystal Howard from the president CEO of the Chamber. We have Donnie Churchman, and we have Anissa Chamahe from Atrium.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, they're doing it again.
So truly a celebrity panel there in
They're
Frisco.
good. Yeah.
Come check it out. Is that the last one that I had, Lennon? I think so. This is yours. I don't want to toot my own horn.
This one's yours. You're gonna announce it because y'all are the ones that did it. So
You want me to announce it? All right. Well,
sure.
we had a show about a couple months ago, I think. So our viewership has grown, right? It's been a fun ride as I said earlier, we're on episode 52. We've been doing it all year. We kicked off right before January 1st of this year. And we had a show about a month and a half ago that within 7 days, we had 105,000 views. So across all the community different shows, this one has been the most watched in a 7-day period by any of the shows. And so if you add them all up, there's well over 200 shows across all the different communities. So excited about that, but mostly for everybody who's participated, right? It just shows the overall involvement of the community. We talk about things that are relevant here in the community, and that award just goes to show, word gets around, and we're pumping out some relevant information to the community, and just happy to be part of it. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Lennon?
Nope, that's it. We're good.
All right, cool. With that, guys, that's a lot going on in Frisco. I mean, we're way over time here. We'll make it up a little bit later, but we do have to give our sponsors a little bit of love. So we're going to cut the commercial. We'll be right back in the back end to talk about the business topic of the month.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
We are Cloud Staff, enabling remarkable growth for businesses everywhere with our pioneering enterprise-grade remote work solutions. We are on a mission to help business owners scale while reducing costs by matching you with an amazing staff, mobilizing your team, and helping manage business performance, making us the #1 workplace as remote work gets done. Connect with us to access the world's top talent and discover how we can enable remarkable growth for your business.
And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Great to see everybody still on. Jason, I wasn't sure if you had to bail on us yet, but
I might have to. I'm sorry. Can I just leave you with one last thought with a lawn guy outside? I don't know if you can hear that. I'm sorry. I just wanted to thank you, Brian, for all of your leadership in the community. And I just wanted to also thank the city and the Frisco Police Department for the way they've managed all of that construction downtown. I know people get frustrated. Personally, I go through that area probably 15 times a day, and I think it's really well done. And I always see Frisco Police Department officers in the area making sure things are happening safely, and with everything else you have going in the city to keep us safe. Thank you, guys, and please extend that on behalf of our team to your officers, how much we really appreciate the department and keeping us safe out there. So thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
awesome. Well, Jason, if you can hop off whenever you need to, but we really appreciate you coming on today, sharing, Alora and all the things that you do for the community. We could probably have a show dedicated to all of those things as well, but
nobody would listen to that, Brian. That would be extreme. But thank you for letting me share, for creating this platform, and definitely would love to have you all out when we get open, and we'll drink some martinis with blue cheese olives, and we'll eat pie, and we'll have, like, every other month we'll have somewhere new to go. So definitely look forward to being able to share that with you guys. So thank you for letting me share today.
Yeah. Awesome. Amen, brother. Good to see you.
Take care, y'all.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. God bless.
All right. See ya. All right. With that, this is our business topic segment. So business topic of the month is transforming the sales cycle, leveraging social platforms to establish the know, like, and trust component of building rapport. I love this one, and I like sitting in this seat only because I get to hear all the insights on the topic, whether it be this one or another one that we've had in previous months. So I get to learn through the segment, just through the input that our guests share, that our co-hosts share. So I love it. This question, I'll just kind of kick off the question or the topic with a question. And that is, leveraging social platforms to establish a know, like, and trust component as it relates to the sales cycle, right? Does it accelerate or make it longer? Does it accelerate the sales cycle or make it longer? And anybody can answer it. This one's a softball question, hopefully.
I'll go. I think it accelerates it personally, in my experience, especially when you have surrounded yourself with other business leaders who are aligned with when it comes to, like, the values that you share, because you have a natural cheer squad that is out there as brand ambassadors for you. And so when people see that on social media, then it accelerates the trust factor where you've already gained some credibility just from those shout outs. And so from my experience, I think it can accelerate that the sales cycle and the experience.
Yep, I would agree with that. And Amy, do you have a thought on does it accelerate, decelerate, and then if so, how?
No, I was just going to say that I agree with all of Lauren's points. And really, for us, we find it's kind of the start to the sales cycle. A lot of times that's how people first find out about you. And then hopefully they transition over to wanting to learn more. And then you're able to communicate them via newsletters and just other ways of communicating. But it is a great way to kick off that sales funnel and sales cycle, and certainly opens up the world really as an audience to your messaging or your product.
Yeah, no, good point. And we talk about that quite a bit is, you can go to a networking meeting from a business perspective. You can go to a networking meeting and meet anywhere from, call it 10 to 110 people, whether, Frisco Chamber Breakfast sometimes is that large. But where can you reach hundreds and hundreds of people with a short segment that you put out there on social media? So great point on that, Amy. Officer Lavelle, this topic, obviously, you guys don't have a sales cycle per se, but you do have a relationship with the community. I know you guys have particularly done a good job of getting more active on social media, both from a relationship building, you guys out in the community, as well as just putting news updates out on social media. And we see those in a lot of the forums. We see those directly from the Frisco TV. So question to you, how has social media, I guess, enhanced your relationship with the community and enhanced what you guys' initiatives are with the community?
Yeah, so it used to be in order to get information out to people, it was, you had a contact in the community, you tended to be like a neighborhood watch person or something like that. And you called them and gave them the information you want to pass out. And they either had to go house to house and knock or call their, the people on their list. And a couple hours later, a part of the community was aware of what was going on, and the rest of them still probably weren't. Social media really has allowed us to put information out really quickly to the entire community. So it's a fantastic tool for us to be able to share things that everybody needs to know very rapidly, and it comes straight from us. So there's no, well, I heard it from one person who heard it from another person who heard it from another person that this is what's going on. But that allows us to really contact everybody in a very quick and efficient manner.
Yeah, and I've seen those updates from, like somebody will ask, hey, I see 4 police cars and a helicopter over on 423 and whatever street. And everybody starts chiming in with, this is what I think is going on, or this is what I saw. And then you'll see a pretty quick follow-up, check the Frisco PD Facebook page, right? You're right. So things can get out of hand pretty quickly when it comes to social media and anything going on in the community.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, like you brought up pages, there's so many different ways that content can be delivered, and the platforms, right? So it can be a group, it could be a page, it could be your personal page, it could be reels and shorts and stories and posts. And so, Amy, I'd love to ask you, with the Taylor Hooton Foundation, what has been your usage of things like shorts and reels, and what's the impact that you've seen as a result?
We started using them a little sporadically, and then we really saw that engagement was up as far as over traditional posts. So we have really started to utilize the shorts and videos more. People seem to identify better with those. They gravitate to those. They definitely perform better in getting the information out than let's say a traditional post. So we have found them to be very effective, and we have been incorporating them more and more, and certainly for 2025 are looking to incorporate that even more.
Awesome. Yeah. And based on conversations we had, tell us more about like when you started using them, because we were talking about 2020 specifically, and just the shift that y'all needed to make.
Yeah. We deliver education programs across the U.S. in middle schools, high schools, and colleges. And when the pandemic hit, we obviously were not able to, go into the schools to deliver our programs. So we had to find ways that we could still deliver our program effectively. So we were able to develop virtual education programs when schools were able to congregate again. We kind of took over classrooms. And so when we learned that, we thought, okay, there are other tools that we can utilize to get the message out during this time. And so we used a lot of Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives, because we were thinking, okay, during this very unique time that none of us have experienced, including kids and parents and coaches and teams, I guess I'll step back a little bit. We educate on the truths about appearance and performance enhancing substances. So we specifically talk about anabolic steroids, human growth hormone. We talk about dietary supplements, energy drinks, nutrition. And so we knew that kids still wanted to train. And kids still wanted to accomplish their goals. They wanted to be ready, to participate with their teams when they could get back to playing sports. But you couldn't go to a gym or you couldn't practice with your team. So we had some of our athletic trainers and strength and conditioning coaches come on and do lives with us to show the kids different things that they could do right in their home with household items. So that was really effective. We also had a sports dietitian come in and talk about, okay, here's some things that you can make at home to continue with your nutrition plan and to help you accomplish your goals. Cooking with your kids. So we really tried to get creative on the different segments. Those were lives. And so that's certainly how we utilize the lives. And then that turned into using more videos and reels, post-pandemic.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, we've seen that for years, like big business has the budget to be able to do ads and things on television. And then for nonprofits and small businesses, those budgets don't exist necessarily. And so it's really beneficial to be able to leverage social media because it's affordable and you can gain exposure with a much broader audience.
Yeah, absolutely. We were trying to find ways also to educate the greater population, because this really goes back to, that when the foundation was created after Taylor Hooton passed away after using anabolic steroids back in 2003, it was complete lack of awareness when Taylor passed away for the Hooton family, for Taylor himself, several people around him. And that was why the foundation was created, was to provide the education that the Hooton family wished they would have had. And so we were always trying to stay current with how people wanted to receive information. Mm. And so we started developing reels and videos with educational information. So they couldn't be long. They needed to be short bites that people could easily digest and that we could effectively communicate. So we would pick a particular topic. Maybe we picked a particular supplement that we talked about, or maybe we picked a certain topic like, okay, here's some conversation starters of how to start the conversation with your kiddo, or warning signs that maybe your adolescent is using. What we really try to do is when we deliver the education programs, if there were common questions that we continue to receive, we thought, well, if students who are attending our session or adults are asking these questions, other people probably have them as well. So we went ahead and tried to develop some of those videos and snippets of information so that people could have that pretty easily and at their fingertips. And then there's always ways for them to learn more, directing them to our website, or hopefully they follow our social media channel. And we look to do even more of that in 2025. So for us, it's equal education, because awareness is a huge component of what we do, but also to encourage people to want to have our program into their school. And, just from a practical perspective, we need funding to continue doing the work that we do. So hopefully educating really the world on what we do and why it's important. But also, we always want someone to have information that makes a difference in their own life and in their family's life, something that maybe they didn't know before they saw that video or reel.
Absolutely. I think that educational piece is key, and it doesn't really, it translates, it's evergreen across all business groups, really, nonprofits, because you're seeking to serve, right? And you're wanting to provide a service to others and information and knowledge and things that will be helpful to them, which again helps with that credibility piece, the building the trust that goes with, if we're going back to like that sales cycle question, that it really helps with that by educating.
Absolutely. Like having travel tips, or, simple things about international travel. Maybe everyone doesn't realize from a passport perspective that they expire they don't expire, but X number of months out before expiration, you have to renew to travel to certain countries. Just anything educational. If you have a cookbook, recipes, I think it's information that, people really can use to make their life better, or information that they don't have that they would like, or didn't even know that they needed.
Absolutely.
Well, I do have a question for you guys, and Amy or Josh, you can answer this one. We've talked quite a bit this month and then in previous months on different topics, but the ability to partner or really have a brand ambassador for you, and social media allows you to do that quite well. Do you guys have any, call it brand ambassadors, or organizations that you partner with through social media, right? So, Josh, do you guys do stuff with the Frisco Fire Department at all? Or Amy, do you have another organization or sports organizations that you guys partner with to help increase your message collectively, not just yours, but whoever your partners may be?
Yeah, from our end, it's the fire department, the city itself, other police departments, other fire departments, the counties, pretty much any governmental agency that's involved with us in any way. We try to partner with them as often as we possibly can. Especially with the objective being get information out to as many people as possible that could be affected by it.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Amy, what about you from the Hooton Foundation aspect?
Well, very similarly, we absolutely want to partner with everyone who has the same like-minded, message and philosophy that we do. One of the things that we do a lot is tagging. So, always, if we're talking about something specific, we always make sure to tag either that person or that business that we're referencing. But I think one of the areas that we want to focus on in 2025 is doing more collaborations where it's truly more of a joint awareness initiative where we're really looking to collaborate more than just maybe the tagging is a little more passive, where this would be a little more, deliberate and we're excited about that. But yes, we partner with lots of organizations, Major League Baseball, the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. We partner with all of the schools and the colleges, all of the educational institutions that we work with. Work a lot with Young Men's Service Leagues. We work, with a lot of different professional athletes, which I'll talk a little bit more about. I think later, Lauren and I are going to talk about that they are great role models that showcase they made it to the pinnacle of their career without the use of appearance and performance enhancing substances. So we really are looking for anyone that kind of has that same mindset that we do about the appearance and performance enhancing substances. NSF is another great partner with us. They are third-party certifiers of supplements. We want to make sure people are aware and know, that supplements are loosely regulated. So there are organizations out there like NSF, Certified for Sport, that actually certify what you're purchasing over the counter, actually matches what's on the label. So everything we're doing is from a mindset, very similar to Officer Lavelle, is that it's awareness, it's education, it's how do we ensure that, living as safely as possible. So we absolutely want to partner with as many organizations and people who want to share that same message.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm glad we had you guys on together, because in the past we've had, people or business owners, entrepreneurs who truly have a sales cycle. Your guys' sales cycle is a little bit different because you guys either nonprofit or, community engagement, that sort of thing. So I'm glad we had this perspective on at the end of the month here. So thank you guys for sharing your insights on that. What we're going to do right now, we're going to take a quick break, and I want to come back and we'll do a spotlight, a little bit deeper dive into the Taylor Hooton Foundation, and then you as a person as well, Amy. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help.
Thank you.
Are you or someone you know pregnant or planning to conceive? Caitlin Smith is both a certified childbirth doula and instructor offering childbirth classes to couples wanting an unmedicated, physiological birth outside of the hospital setting. Caitlin has served the local community since 2021 and specializes in working closely with midwives, all while best supporting a mother's physical body, her partner, and the birth environment. You can contact Caitlin through Instagram at thismamadoula or email her at caitlinsmithdoula@gmail.com to learn more about childbirth classes or her doula services.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
All right, welcome back. So next segment, we're going to dive into our guests here, Amy. So you get the spotlight all to yourself since Jason wasn't able to hang on for the entire time, but he shared enough about his new venture. So we get to spend the time with you on this one. So what we like to do during this segment is really just allow you to share a little bit about yourself. Having lived in Frisco for 24 years, I'm curious what brought you to Frisco. So there's two main things I want to ask you is, what brought you to Frisco? And then more from the Taylor Hooton Foundation, what inspired you to get involved with that? So start with question one for me, and then you can kind of weave that story.
Okay, well, and thank you so much again for having me. Delighted to be here and love your podcast. Congratulations on that fantastic 105,000. That's so wonderful. So we grew up in the Northeast and near Buffalo, New York, and through a series of jobs, my husband and I both have moved for each other kind of across the country. We were both in the insurance industry, and that is how we came to the Dallas area. And as I mentioned earlier, settled on Frisco because we just thought it would be a great place to raise our family and the schools, and have never left, since we moved here. So that's been wonderful. What drew me to the Taylor Hooton Foundation is becoming an empty nester. And I knew I was going to be sad. And so I just was thinking, okay, so what do I need to do in my life so that I'm not, at my colleges or my kids' college, university every weekend, which would not be good for, them or me. And so I met the Hooton family and have always been involved with nonprofits. And after hearing Don and Gwen's story of losing their son, Taylor, after using anabolic steroids, and really the bravery that they had to relive their tragedy every day in hopes that another family does not experience what they did, I just thought my insurance career was so wonderful. And I was so thankful to have it. And so many people poured into me to give me the knowledge and the years of experience that maybe would help the foundation. And I just thought, if I can come alongside them, if they'll have me, I would love to get to be a part of it. And that's been 10 years this year. And so it was really meeting them, hearing what they wanted to accomplish and wanting to be a part of that, wanting to make, starting with Frisco and then expanding really to North America, all of the kiddos to be safe and parents to be made aware of the substances that are available, the pressures that the kids have, whether that's in the locker room or in front of the mirror. I'm just really helping them share Taylor's story and his legacy to save lives.
I remember
awesome.
when you made the shift. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you ladies first. Go for it, Lauren.
So Amy mentioned earlier that we're neighbors. So we're across the street neighbors. And for 18 years, I think. And I remember when Amy shifted into that role and hasn't looked back. It's been fantastic. So I'd love to hear, what are some ways that us as citizens in Frisco and the community difference, what are ways that we can help support the Taylor Hooton Foundation's mission?
One of the things that we, talk about our whole conversation is certainly following any of our social media channels. We do provide a lot of education there. And a lot of times I think people think, well, my kids don't play sports or my kids aren't athletes. So that really isn't anything that we have ever, needed or been concerned about in our house. But really what we have noticed, even just in the 10 years that I've been with the foundation, then certainly in the last 20 years since the Hooton started the foundation, is that it really was what people stereotypically thought of a steroid user was a male athlete. And that really has shifted over the years, and it's morphed into a vanity drug. And we actually changed the name to appearance and performance enhancing substances, because appearance really is the top reason of why people are using these substances. And we've really seen it's gone male and female, athlete and non-athlete. So I think firstly, just educate yourself on maybe what your teen or your adolescent is going through. With social media has many wonderful things as far as sales cycles and business and awareness. It's really opened up the world to us. But there's also some things to consider. Not all of the information on social media is correct. Not all of it is healthy. And so just be aware of what your kids are consuming. So that would be the first step. We have a monthly newsletter that people can sign up for. Again, it's an educational newsletter, which is great. We have different local events that we feature on there if people would like to attend. Having us come in and speak at either schools, or as I mentioned earlier, Young Men's Service League, we do a lot of that. Any really community association, because our programs are really designed for both students and we say adult influencers. So that's parents, teachers, coaches, athletic trainers. We do programs for the community. So really it's just kind of follow along. And if you ever have any questions, our doors are always open. If people would like some additional information, we have a lot of great, like I said, conversation starters, talking points, things to look for. There's also Men's Health recently produced a documentary called Generation Flex. I would encourage people to watch, that really focuses on the supplement side of things for adolescents and the pressures that they're facing, both with the pressure of the unrealistic body image that they're trying to attain, which a lot of times isn't even real. And then secondly, the pressures because everyone wants that affirmation of getting the likes and getting the support of how they look. But then the other side of it is there's several influencers out there who are promoting dangerous substances. And so we want the adults in their life to be the kids' influence. Not just what they're seeing on social media. So we want to come alongside. We want to come alongside kids. One of the things I love that we always say is you can be anything you want to be, all me, which is without the use of appearance and performance enhancing substances. So we want to come alongside kids who want to accomplish goals. We want to help them accomplish the safe way. And then we want to come alongside the adults. Like I said, just to know kind of what to look for, how to start the conversations, and how to also support their kids or their loved ones in achieving their goals the healthy way.
Yeah, I can't imagine just I can imagine, unfortunately, but the social media aspect, right? And this whole picture of being perfect and people's impression of what that looks like. And I'm into fitness a little bit. I'm not like a fitness junkie or anything like that, but I click on a few different curious posts on, okay, look at this exercise or whatever. And all of a sudden in my feed, I'm getting all this stuff that are not just fitness experts, so to speak, but you can tell they're on steroids, and they call it gear, right? So they've got even the emojis, they've got the little gear emoji, all these people that are you natural? Or are you on gear? And it's amazing just how quickly that flows into my own feed, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're a young, impressionable athlete or non-athlete, but just, you care about your appearance even more so as a teenager, I can't imagine how much that's just increased the need for that sort of education that you guys are offering. So appreciate you sharing how we can help help your foundation even more. And simple stuff just like liking and sharing your posts. I love that. So thank you very much on that.
Thank you.
With that, we've got to wrap this segment up real quick because we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what's the difference between two different things. So that's our what's the difference segment, and that's what we're going to hit next. But right now, last commercial break coming right up. Go ahead, Lennon.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
And now it's time for What's the Difference?
All right, welcome back, difference makers, to play off of that commercial right there. So this is, as you heard, the What's Up segment, or What's the Difference segment. And what that means is I'm going to ask the group a question. I want to get your guys' answers or perspective on that question. There are no right or wrong answers. And it's interesting because we've had opposite ends of the spectrum for each one of these questions throughout the month. So interested to hear your guys' opinion on this question. What's the difference between creating a social media presence and creating a community?
Are we popcorning or are you calling on us? Okay.
Yep. I'm going to go ladies first. So this is where it's not your guys' advantage. Lauren, I'll call on you first since you, it sounds like you wanted to answer
since
first.
I spoke, right?
Right.
So presence to me is about familiarity. It's self-promotion. It's all about me, kind of. Community is coming from a place of curiosity where there's a shared interest. There's more engagement. There's more support, and it's more inclusive. So in my mind, that's like how I separate them.
I like it. What about you, Amy? What's your perspective on that question?
Yeah, I, again, 100% agree with everything Lauren said. I guess just instead of being repetitive, just to kind of take that a step further. One of the things that I heard someone say was actually Dr. JJ Peterson with StoryBrand, and he, said that the customer is the hero, and in kind of focusing on them as the kind of the center of the message. And so and our role is to come alongside to educate and or solve a problem. And so that we're kind of the guides and offering the wisdom and the direction, and really always remembering that they're the focus, and that the focus is on their success, not ours. And also really focusing on what is the goal. Like for us, our goal is to educate and have awareness. So it's not what did we do? It's what were we able to accomplish, and what were those who heard our messaging able to accomplish? And I alluded to that a little bit earlier with the All Me League, is that we're celebrating those athletes that made it to the pinnacle of their career without the use of these substances, because we're celebrating and highlighting them so that kids are aspiring to that. We wanted to give positive role models. It's kind of the same thing. One of the reels, kind of going back to the reels or videos, is we like to do the testimonial videos, where those are focused on the person, not us, where they talk about how they were impacted or how maybe they made different decisions after hearing the presentation. So we really try to make it outside of us focus, and that we're just the vehicle that comes alongside the person to really realize the success. That's where our hearts are, as far as why we do it. We kind of go back to our why. Like, are we accomplishing our why? Are we fulfilling our mission?
Yeah, love that. Very good. Very good. Josh, what about you? What, from your perspective, what's the difference between a social media presence and creating a community?
Uh-oh.
Well, maybe I'll come back to Officer Lavelle on that one. It looks like he's having some streaming issues. I'll throw my 2 cents in on this one. The social media presence, right? You can use it for good, you can use it for bad. However, whatever your intention, whether you intend it or not, it can go either way. But for me, it feels like that's more of a static thing. Whereas when you're creating a community, it has the ability to grow, to educate, to change, to incite change and make change. So for me, it's almost like I view community as a living, breathing organization, entity, whereas a presence is just kind of that. It's static and it's just linear, right? That's how I view that. And if we don't get Officer Lavelle back, that's okay. We appreciate his time on here. What I'll do, since we're coming up against the end of the show here, I will read the Webster's Dictionary version of the answer to this question. So the question again is, what's the difference between creating a social media presence and creating a community? A social media presence revolves around self-promotion and content distribution. A community fosters engagement, collaboration, and mutual growth, giving people a reason to return and participate actively. So I think collectively we nailed that one. I'm just going to give ourselves a collective pat on the back on that one. So good job, but I love the different perspectives, and I like hearing it from a nonprofit perspective, right? With the goal being to educate and drive awareness. So love that. Thank you guys for sharing. All right, with that, I'm going to circle back. Amy, can you please just remind the audience who you are, what the Taylor Hooton Foundation is, and then I'll ask you a quick question in about 20 seconds.
Sure. Yes, the Taylor Hooton Foundation is a nonprofit organization who was formed in memory of Taylor Hooton, who took his own life as a result of using anabolic steroids. We educate on the truths about appearance and performance enhancing substances, including anabolic steroids, human growth hormone, dietary supplements, energy drinks, and nutrition, all in hopes that another family does not experience the same tragedy that the Hooton family did. We want to provide the information they wish they would have had.
Awesome. Well, thank you for reminding the audience who that is and educating us today about the great things that you guys are doing. Question for you: what's your key takeaway from the show today? 20 seconds.
I love the collaboration. I think that was just a common theme, and that when we collaborate, we all can accomplish great things together. And really helping promote each other really is just the best way for success in creating the community that thrives, and therefore everyone is able to thrive. So thank you so much again for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for being our guest today. Lauren, thank you for bringing Amy on. That was an awesome guest. Learned a lot today. And thank you to the Frisco PD. Thank you to Jason Young for popping on today as well. Lennon, thank you for producing in the background. With that, guys, we have to wrap it up. It's amazing how quickly an hour and 15 minutes flies by. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Have a wonderful new year, and we will see you not next week, in the new year, I guess. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Frisco was made possible by Brian Poduska with Real Property Management Focus, Bethany Ralwin with the Beer Ralwin Realty Group, Tracy Churchman with Best Buddies, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers, Eric Buchanan with Goosehead Insurance, Meena Singh, college counselor and prep coach, and by Lauren Gill with My Live, Love, Travel. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference.